It is Consumer Week at the Jam, and all week long we're inviting different experts to give us tips and advice on everything from home inspections, life insurance, wills, and so much more.
That's right, and today we're talking car buying. And in case you didn't know, right now used cars in particular, they're in high demand and selling fast off the lot, Carly.
Yeah, so we brought in Tim Healey. He's the managing editor of The Truth About Cars to fill us in. Good morning. Thanks for coming in today.
Good morning.
So what's happening in the market right now? Why are used cars selling more than new cars?
Well, new car pricing is getting a little bit crazy. The average transaction price is now over $36,000. So used cars are becoming a little more appealing to consumers who are shopping for value.
Wow, that's the same cost of the average American wedding. Do you want a wedding? Do you want a new car?
Right. Choose wisely, a spouse or a car.
Yeah.
So if we are looking to buy a car, what are some things we should be on the lookout for used cars?
For used cars, I would use Carfax to get the vehicle history report, to see if there was any major accidents, to see if it was well maintained, service records, that sort of thing. Carfax is a valuable resource. I would just be looking out for that to make sure that there's no title problems, no salvage titles, anything like that.
There we go. And then we have our second one as well.
Applying for third-party financing.
Yes. So if you're shopping for a new car, or in many cases even used cars, your best bet is to go get financing through your bank. That way you have a leverage over the dealership. You know what your limit is in terms of budget, and you can often get better interest rates through your bank as well. But the main reason to get third-party financing is to essentially have a little more information, go into the dealership a little armed with better research, and it's one less area they can make money off you.
There you go. And then extended warranties.
Extended warranties are a little bit tricky. A lot of new car warranties last for a lot longer than they used to. The main thing with an extended warranty, if you're buying a used car, is to check when the warranty starts. Some extended warranties start at the same time as the OEM warranty, meaning there's less time that they cover at the end of the OEM warranty. But if you can get an extended warranty, it starts when you buy the used car and lasts you 3, 5, 6 years. That would be better off for you.
And what's OEM?
Original equipment.
Oh,
brand
okay.
new.
There we go.
So let's talk about mileage. Is there a rule, Tim, to how many miles a car should have depending on the year that car's made?
No hard and fast rule, but the average is typically 12,000 to 15,000 miles a year. So if you live in the suburbs and commuting to the Loop and back and forth, the average American commutes about 40 miles a day. On weekdays, so about 12,000 to 15,000 miles a year is generally the kind of rule of thumb.
Is there a cap to how many miles someone should buy a car? Like if it has 100,000 miles, is that too many? Or
I wouldn't say there's a cap per se. It depends. You might have to do some research depending on how a car's reliability is, that sort of thing. 100,000 miles in 2 or 3 years would be a lot, obviously, doing the math, but it doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't do it.
Okay, and then are there any other advantages to buying a car used versus new other than it's just cheaper?
Actually, that is the main advantage right now. You can get a 2-year-old car for a little bit less money and have most, if not all, of the content that is available on new cars. And not only that, but someone else is taking the depreciation hit for you.
Oh, wow. So what about stuff like True Price Car, TrueCarPrice.com, websites like that? Are those good tools for bargaining, or
if you're referring to True Car is a pretty good source. I'm a big fan of EdmundsCars.com, Auto Trader, and Kelley Blue Book. They're all great resources, and they're all pretty fair and pretty accurate.
What's a common mistake that a buyer may make? And also, when you're at the dealership, how do you know you're not being had? Once you know, I should probably walk away.
The biggest mistake is going in. The biggest mistake is going in thinking payment only. You need to think bigger picture. First of all, if you tell him I can only afford $250 a month, you're sort of giving away too much information up front in a negotiation. You don't want to do that. And the other thing is you have to factor in gas, insurance, service, maintenance, all that sort of stuff over the time that you're going to have the car. Resale value matters. So you don't want to go in thinking just I can only afford $250 a month and that's it. You want to kind of have a bigger picture, and don't be afraid to walk away if the things aren't going well. And you can also cross-shop dealers against each other. You can look at the Chevy store in one suburb and look at the one down the street and say, okay, he's giving me this deal. What can you do for me?
How much do you feel like dealers will usually knock down the price?
It really depends. It all depends. Obviously, you don't want to pay sticker price. And one thing you can do is, before you purchase your vehicle, go on Google and type in the year, make, and model, and type in incentives. And usually you'll find for your zip code, for a limited amount of time, you're getting, I don't know, $4,000 cash back or whatever. It changes from month to month and zip code to zip code and model to model. But you can check and see what's out there.
That's a really good tip.
Sounds like a little bit of research will go a long way.
Yes, absolutely.
Come armed with research.
Absolutely.
There you go. Well, let's kick it off Consumer Week right. Thank you very much, Tim, for the help on how to get out there and buy cars, everybody. And for all the latest info about cars, visit thetruthaboutcars.com.